Senator Bernie Sanders and his backers, they're going after the fracking industry. Roll tape.
I ask myself the question, what can I as an individual do to stop the biggest, most powerful industry on the face of the earth from destroying everything that I love and everything that I know? And the answer is, as an individual, not very much. Fracking activism and climate activism and democracy is a team sport. We're going to stop the biggest industry on the face of the earth, and we're going to do it in spite of everyone saying it's impossible. And 2 years ago, we banned fracking in the state of New York.
Following Josh Fox's comments at the rally, the campaign released a new anti-fracking ad narrated by Susan Sarandon. Take a listen.
Do Washington politicians side with polluters over families? They sure do, because big oil pumps millions into their campaigns. Bernie Sanders is the only candidate for president who opposes fracking everywhere. Why? Because fracking pumps dangerous, cancer-causing chemicals into the ground and threatens our drinking water. Bernie, he can't be bought by them because he's funded by you.
All right, come on in, Amer, Zahr, Bernie Sanders supporter. Why the push against fracking so hard right now?
Well, I mean, actually, Bernie has been on the right side of this issue for some time. He's not new to this issue. The person who's new to this issue, unfortunately, is Secretary Clinton. But Bernie has been on talking about fracking for a long time. He's been talking about banning fracking, the environmental concerns, and moving towards sustainable and renewable energy for a long time now.
I mean, everyone who looks at this and understands that tomorrow we're not going to have windmills on cars, right? So having said that, the notion of taking away all these great American jobs that pay $90,000 a year, $120,000 a year, because someone's worried about the planet perhaps warming up at 1 degree more in 100 years. Do you understand with the average person that it hurts the average working man in America?
Well, I think Senator Sanders and the rest of us understand the concerns, but he's put forward a plan. We also know that if we do move towards this, and it's probably going to be a generational thing, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not about eliminating fossil fuel altogether.
If he's president, he would ban fracking immediately if he could get his way, wouldn't he?
Well, we know that fracking causes environmental problems. Look, haven't we learned our lesson from Flint? What happens when you poison a water supply? Fracking has that potential, you know, and so Senator Sanders has put forward this plan to ban fracking, and going towards solar and wind and geothermal will create hundreds of thousands of jobs as well.
We've spent so many millions, billions of dollars, perhaps getting toward the trillions, if you add in these Western nations, trying to push alternative energy. It's not ready yet. It's just not there yet. You know, the solar plant in California, they spent $3 billion on it. It's not producing any of the energy they said it would. It only employs like 12 people. I mean, the myth of solar and wind taking over tomorrow is a farce. In the meantime, you've got working men and women who need these jobs. They need the construction jobs. They need the economic. And by the way, what about the money we save in this country, not sending it overseas?
With fracking?
Yeah.
Look, I mean, obviously, the renewable energy would all happen here as well. Look, this is not something that's going to happen immediately overnight, right? This is a generational, transitional thing. People can transfer into other jobs, hopefully over time. It might take a generation, but this is about a vision. This is about saying, what kind of country do we want to be? Do we want to be the kind of country that keeps destroying the environment, potentially poisons our water, or do we want to be the kind of country that moves forward? Actually, we've seen renewable energy. Burlington, Vermont, Senator Sanders' former town where he was mayor, is now fully running on renewable energy. It's possible. It's not impossible.
I can tell you right now that ExxonMobil last year put out a piece. It was about 40, 70 pages. They said every ounce of oil that they have will be used because of global demand. And the bottom line is you cannot fuel an economy without it. And that's why China won't do the things we're talking about doing in other countries, because they want to be first-rate economies. We can't fuel our economy if you start to hurt our fracking and fossil fuel industry any more than it's been hurt.
Well, look, even Senator Sanders is not talking about necessarily eliminating fossil fuels altogether, right? It's about going more towards renewable energy.
You got to make campaign stops, right? It's hard to make them on bicycles, right? It's hard to go and say from the New York rally to the LA rally on a bike.
It is about turning this country into depending more on renewable energy, less on foreign oil, less on stuff that might destroy our environment and poison our water.
Listen, I think we all would like to see that, and one day it will happen. I just think the notion of government forcing it today is a huge economic mistake.
Well, we can do it, and Senator Sanders is the one to take us there.
All right, thanks a lot, buddy. Hey, New York Giants quarterback